Hello. Unspoken answers to unspoken question. Guys, thank you so much for sharing our platform. You know, we've been seeing the comments and yes, the replies as well. Thank you so much, most especially for this year, 2022. It has been a great year for us to stepping up to all this, you know. It has been a pleasure. Today, I always say excited, but now I'm humble. I'm humble on this platform to have and grace this individual. He's a DJ, elder. He's a businessman, entrepreneur. You know, he's a family man. He's been an inspiration to me about, you know, even social media. And one thing I've learned is that some people will come on your journey and they will help your journey, most especially, you know, further. And he's been like, you know, when you have your tires and he's rolling and, you know, you can say, push more. That's this person. He's been an amazing person. Yes, DJ, can you just introduce yourself to the platform? I know you have so much cap, but I don't want to give everything up.
You know, the hardest thing is I always ask people this kind of question myself.
Yeah.
So can you introduce it? Ask
yeah.
me now, and I'm a little bit like, hey, what's happening? I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, you know, Unspoken fans and, you know, people that follow what's happening here, you know, special greetings going out there to all of you. And thank you for your continued support of my dear brother and a friend, right? Ollah. Yep, I'm DJ Val, Elder Valentine Fadayomi. Taking it a slightly different step. I'm a church elder. Yes, I'm a family man. I run a radio station called Soul Food Gospel Radio.
Yeah.
We have a YouTube element to it as well, so we do some video. I have a little bit of fun on social media. And yeah, you know, I thank God that, you know, my inspiration always comes from God. I have to say that. I love working with people, but my inspiration, my personal inspiration, I know when God says push, then I got to push. So, you know, I have my fingers in many, many things, but music is my passion.
Yeah.
It's always been my passion. And I think that's allowed me to develop and grow in other things as well.
Yeah. Great. My first question always is, how are you doing?
That's a really good question. I'm pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good. All things considered. And I know sometimes we...
No, I don't want to I don't want to use Christianese language.
No. That's the one where you ask people.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing that. Yeah. But guys, dude will always like, oh yeah, I'm all right. But tomorrow, you just see them done. Like
that's not
why?
me. If I tell you that I'm doing good, I'm doing real good. This year has been an absolutely phenomenal year. We're going to touch on some things, right? It's been an absolutely phenomenal year for me. And I think one of the biggest things I focused on in this year was being happy. And being happy it's a deliberate thing. You have to really work on it. It takes, I know the Bible says the joy of the Lord is your strength, Okay, so that's the joy that the Lord gives is your strength. But being happy is a choice for you.
Yeah.
As a person. And I have thought about it, and I believe this year I've been happier day by day than any other year of my life. Because I purposed to do it.
Wow. Wow. That's coming from a person of a spiritual background as well.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of Christians, let's be honest with you. I mean, regardless of whatever you believe, right? If what you're doing, you can't be happy in it, day in and day out, or you can find the happy things for you to hold on to, then my question is, why are you going through a lot of the things that you're going through, or come in and feeling that you're okay, but meanwhile you're going on and you just don't feel that happiness? And it's interesting, such a good question, because if you asked me last year, I was doing a lot of great stuff, right? Doing lots of great stuff. Did I purpose to be happy? I don't think so. I got moments when I was happier. There were moments where I felt great, but there's also other moments where I didn't feel so great about things. But this year, it's like I count my days and I look and I say to myself, if I start to feel a particular way in a day, I say, oh yeah, out. There's no room for that.
Wow.
Get back, focus. This, small things sometimes can irritate us.
Yeah.
Don't sweat the small stuff. There's big stuff coming. Don't sweat the small stuff. Does
that resonate to your jogging, your exercise? Because I've always been, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that platform. I'm always like, okay, yeah. What's the next question that you're gonna put out there now? So I'm like, yes, let's do it.
So the whole exercise thing happened. Shout going out there to my brother Leroy Brown. He challenged me a couple years ago, I think it was, to start exercising. I wasn't really doing it. It's like, guys just,
Well, you do it in the morning.
Yeah, so it started with cycling, first of all.
Yeah.
I started cycling and, first of all, I couldn't cycle 5 miles without, I felt I was going to have a heart attack. Honestly speaking, the first time I did, I said, the way I was breathing, I said, God in heaven, let me kill myself. Fast forward maybe 6 months down there, I'm cycling 30 miles, Sometimes in the morning then, before I did anything, I'd do 20 miles. 20 miles was like nothing. 10 miles was like, what's 10 miles? 10 miles is like, I haven't even started. Mm-hmm. But then I moved. Okay, and now where I moved to is a slightly different topography. The layout, is slightly different. So it was, once I'd moved out, something just said, combine this walking with something. And again, I call it inspiration by the Holy Spirit. And these little silly things just came up where I just do a 15-second question, and that was it. But again, that was linked into something I used to do on the radio show. It was called the Tuesday Trivia, where we come up with questions. In fact, my son used to run that. That was his baby. He won't remember now, I'm sure. Yeah, he used to do it on the show, and he would come up with some of the questions, and he would say they're not allowed to Google the answers. He would answer the question. He was tiny then. But that's where that started as well. We just took that to Instagram.
Wow. You see, I think he runs from the family, isn't it?
Yeah. He's a budding radio presenter. I'm trying to get him back on the show. He took a leave of absence because of his studies, but I'm trying to get him back on the show. He said I've not negotiated his return salary well. So
is it?
Another story.
So he has to get an agent. An external agent.
Yeah, he said my people will contact your people. Can you imagine? Let me give this boy first time start and my people.
Yes. All right. I want to dive into your the awards.
Okay.
Most especially the one the international one.
Yeah.
So yeah, how has it been? Because I know definitely there was a lot of categories where people from the States vying for the same the award, and but at the end of the day, you've got, I think, like 3-4.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Now?
I've got two.
Now, okay.
But loads of different nominations. So sometimes, so one of the things I learned from, and we'll talk about it from the guys at Salt FM, said, you must celebrate what God is doing in your life. You must celebrate it. So there's many opportunities that I found that if you're not careful, you look over it. So I get a nomination, maybe I get through to the second round or something, and maybe I don't win. For me, it's like, I thought, okay, I didn't win, but they've told me, no, you celebrate that. You have to make a big deal around it. And so much so that it looks like some of the time, like you'll actually win. But, you were nominated, maybe you got through to the last ballot, you didn't actually make it. So I conscientiously go out of my way to make these things big. And the truth is, you have the power to make it as big as you want.
Yeah.
If you're nominated with, the first, how they do it, especially in America, they have the first ballot, which will be everybody. Then you get through to maybe second round and final round.
Yeah.
Okay. It depends on how you choose to make that. You can make that huge. Or you can just go, praise the Lord. Or you can just say, I'm through. So I try to make a big deal out of it. No matter what it is, a big deal out of it. So that probably looks like I win more. But for me, I understand where I was pre-pandemic. I was not in line to win anything. Two reasons why. One major reason, I hadn't realized my potential. So you can be doing something without realizing your potential. And the potential is how you take that to the next level. And that's why it's good to have people around you that will iron sharpen iron, as it says in the Bible. It's just basically another friend speaks to you and encourages you to get up and do something with your gift. I think it's in Caesar, and I love this quote. One person in Julius Caesar, Shakespeare, says to the other one, says, can you see your face? And the other one goes, no, I can't see my face. I can only see a reflection. And for me, that tells me that somebody can look at you and see what you will never be able to see in real time. So I can look and say, wow, what you're doing is amazing. Meanwhile, you'll be looking thinking, I did try.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, someone will come and say, wow.
Yeah.
This is great. I mean, I feel inspired and encouraged. So for the international awards, the first one, which was the TV one, that one, I'll be honest with you, the people in that category, I said, there's no way this guy from London, I only started doing this.
Because they've been like,
they're established, and you remember, you're going to America on their home on their home turf.
Yeah,
it's Atlanta, so that's the home of American gospel, if you want to really call it that.
Wow.
That the award ceremony or the award body is the Praise Factor Award. So you'd have like the Dove Awards. There's another one. It's the Dove. There's another award, gospel award that they do, and then these guys come in next in terms of the weight of awards.
Yeah.
So I never thought in my life that I would, when I got through to the last round, I thought, okay, nice, praise the Lord, I will celebrate. Never thought I would win, and when I did, it was a real testimony to again to what God did in my life. TV was never part of my plan. And that's why that award is so special. It's Best International TV Network. TV was not part of my plan. I love music and I wanted to do music. But I am telling you that when you get that push that says, and it was in lockdown, have a camera in the studio.
Yeah.
You can do this. There's so many other guys around that saw it. And again, this thing of looking at your face, some guys go, wow,
Yeah.
you're doing that. I remember one of my guys challenged me. He goes, you're doing this. Here's a challenge for you. He sent me a video. He goes, make your show like that video. So he goes, yeah, you're going to have to work out how you do it yourself. Ask me questions. But here's a video. Make your show like that. And I did. And then I took it a step further and a step further and a step further. So that award for me it's such a special award because it just goes to show sometimes, you know, you really do need people around you that can look and see the good in you and say, go for it. So yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
You mentioned potential. Two things. I remember you came around my place during the COVID.
Yeah.
And, you know, said, oh yeah, I should get this roadcaster, thing like that, you know. At that time, I was like, DJ, how expensive, man. What's that? You know, and because I was, you know, basically just putting my phone and then send to people that okay, this is what I did and like that. But looking at it now, I'm like, wow, that's. I can't even say how it kind of made me to see how, you know, things could be from that to now that you know having subscribers. Subscribers. Bro. When I say subscribers, like, come on, man. You know. So when you look at internet, and that's the thing you said again. You said celebrate.
Yeah.
Now, I was listening to someone online, and you know, he said when he was, building his own subscribers and things like that, he was like, how will I get to 1K?
Yeah.
This person now, over 4K is video, just one video.
Yeah.
So when you say celebrate, you know, I was also listening to Steve Harvey's, and he was talking about gratitude. You know, the small things that you have to celebrate.
Yeah.
So even when I look at it, I'm like, even sometimes during the COVID, I'll look at your status and the people that are online and things like that. I'm like, okay, looking at it, okay. But one thing I noticed online is that a lot of people are on the show, but maybe
they don't say anything.
They don't say anything, or the YouTube or the Instagram or whatever might bring it down.
Yeah.
But you will not know. So later on, you now see one comment. Oh,
where did that come from? Yeah.
Where did that come from? And that's, you know, giving me that impetus, like, okay, if you're going to do it, just try. Just try. Just continue, and then, you know,
just try.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
The worst that you can happen is that it doesn't work. So you're back to where you were.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the end of the world. It's not, you know, it's you know, but as my son would say, nobody died. It's not a big deal. Nobody died. You know. So you know,
nobody died. Okay.
You know? So you know, but the idea that, you know, and this thing that you're saying about, you know, celebrating every milestone, you know, it's actually biblical. So if those that don't know much about the Bible, whenever the children of Israel or anything that was worthy that happened, they would always celebrate or erect a monument to that.
Yeah.
They would always have something. They would, raise some stones or pillars or something like that to celebrate that. So when you start with, when I first got to 100 subscribers, I thought, Chai! Wow! I was like, whoa, 100! It went. And, you celebrate these little milestones. People that are doing it. So, so important.
Your platform, it is taken... No, I'll reframe that. There has been huge and international artists on your platform.
Yeah.
Charvel, Franklin, Tanya,
which one? Tanya,
Caril or something like that. And even the last one I watched, Madeline
Kerzner, huge.
Wow.
Huge.
I had to you know what? I think I have to go back to the Greek, the Hebrew, and the Jewish thing, because she made it okay, it's like you speak in English. Yeah, and you haven't gotten into the tonation.
I love what she said. She goes, it's like watching a TV, but watching it in standard definition.
Listen to that.
When you know the Jewish Hebraic background, then you're watching it in high definition, ultra 4K, and I'm telling you, watch a movie in that you go, okay, it was good. Watch it in 4K, go, wow. And So, again, with the guests, go back 3 years ago.
It's been big.
Yeah, I was begging people to come on. I have to be honest with you guys, right? Soulful Gospel as a radio station. Soulful Gospel as a show. Soulful Gospel as a show. Let me be honest with you. Soulful Gospel as a show started in 2013, 2014. Okay? It was a show on Ruach Radio. Shout out there to my Bishop John Francis, and co-pastor Penny Francis. Yeah. So we were running the show there. It was just a show. It wasn't a radio station, just a show. My first guest, actually, but this is a bit of a trivia question because my son was my first guest. Actually, I was covering somebody else's show. I had Isabella of Isabella Melody. She's a gospel artist. The next guest, believe it or not, who actually approached me, and this is why I absolutely love her, Sarah Table. Okay. When she was first starting out, so, can I come on your show? Reached out. I didn't know her then. Since how many years later, look at where she is now. But she did reach out to me at that time. But literally speaking, you have to beg people. I was, would you like to come on and stuff like that, and
they'll tell you, no.
Some will come back. No, in fact, most would not even answer. So if you're so who is this guy? He wants to, So it was fine, but again, something happened. And again, shouts going out there to, I think, the radio manager of Rack Radio. I think he said something, or he said it, or it was from the Holy Spirit. I'm not overly spiritual, so I don't think everything the Holy Spirit. I know when something impresses on me for me to do. Yeah. Somebody said, you need to do more interviews. I went, okay. So I started doing more, reaching out to people, getting more people on. But in lockdown, where everybody was now at home, couldn't do anything, I started, you reach out, would you like to come on? And I know, what people are. You send a message, the first thing they go and check out your social, check out what's happening. So this is, I think, where that whole thing that God was saying, make sure your things are good. If you're producing, you're sending, at least make sure it's good.
Yeah.
So and then, you know, your gift will make room for you again, and something else from the Bible means whatever you do will open a door for you. And that opened the door for these people to come on. And, you know, I'm really grateful because I don't struggle for interviews now. People approach me and say, you know, I've got the release coming out, DJ Val. I've made friendships with people. I think that's important. So some of these artists that you say the names, you know, I saw Madeline at the Step Forward Award. You know, I've never met her personally, but she's been on my show twice. The way she jumped up, hey, DJ Val, how are you? Even I felt good, you know? And, you know, so, you know, you forge relationships with these people. They now realize that you're an outlet for their music. So, you know, I don't really struggle. So we've had people from South Africa, had people from America.
Yeah.
You name it. I mean, all over the place.
Yeah. Because I also remembered there was a show you had. Someone, I think she's a political person as well. I think she's UK. Not Labour, maybe Green Party or something like that.
No, I know who you're talking about. She was from the Christian. Oh, okay. No, I was thinking of the one from the Christian Alliance, because I've had
Christian Alliance.
Yeah. So she's been on. Nim Zapunge, when he was running for mayor of London, he's been on as well. So
Okay. I want to touch personal now. Personal. I came to your wedding.
You did, yeah.
And you know, that day I was just, you know, overwhelmed about, you know, how things could be, you know. Guys, DJ Val remarried his wife again, and say anything, you know, because I just wanna.
It's
I don't want to pinpoint.
No. So we were married 10 years. I had a daughter from a previous relationship. She had a daughter from a previous relationship, and then we had a son together. Yeah. So my biggest child wasn't living with us, but we were married for 10 years, divorced for 11. Yeah. And then we remarried last year, and you know, I guess a lot of the time people say, well, how does that kind of thing happen? You know?
That was where
So, look, breakups are never easy, all right? And I always say, you know, someone said, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't have divorced. But you can't say that because I did, you know? And I think sometimes we have to make decisions with the tools that we have. I can't make the decisions at PhD level if I've just got A levels. I can't make a PhD decision. You can't put me into it. And I think at that time, you know, where you now communication breakdown, you now fall apart and you fall out of that marriage relationship. Yeah. You know, it's a difficult time. But one of the things, and I think at the time, you don't know how these things work out, but you hear a lot of stories of people that they get divorced and they hate each other. You know, it's like, you know, they could kill the person, or they now, which I really don't like, is they now use the children against the other partner. Terrible thing to do. Yeah. You know, and we spoke about this when we broke up. You know, initially you break up, things are a little bit hot, but we said, look, okay, we've got kids, you know, that boy that used to be a baby, he's 6'5" now. How is our relationship gonna be? Okay, we said we're not together, how's the relationship gonna be? Now, we used to be friends before. Before we got married, we were always friends. So we said we just need to try and reset to friendship level. Okay? Was it easy? No, it wasn't. because initially you're still carrying that pain from what happened, the breakup. And let's not even, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you think, as a man, did you fail completely?
Yeah.
That you couldn't keep your household together?
Yeah.
That's the truth. And, but bit by bit, time and perseverance. You see, if you're not purposeful with anything at all, Bible says that if you're lukewarm, he'll spit you out. Don't be blown backwards and forwards with every wind of doctrine. If you have a purpose and you're purposeful with it, I believe that purpose will bring you something, right? And we were purposeful in being good parents, purposeful in being good friends to one another. So where we now began to push and push and push and push and push. Don't get me wrong. This time last year, not to give out dates and times that we're recording, this whole move of being separated and getting married happened in 7 months. So before then, I'd known you, there was no indication. I dated some other people, hanging around with some other people. Just nothing was really vibing the way that I wanted it to vibe. But one thing that we had maintained ourselves is that we had a good friendship. And that means supporting one another. So if she needed something that wasn't in the remit of just my son or the kids or something, she could reach out to me. Same way if I wanted something that was more than the remit of, she was always able to help. So I think what that did, that just fostered a new way to look at things, and I'll be honest with you, it was so unexpected. I didn't have it mapped or planned. We were talking one day and she just joked. And I said, look, for me, why not? I think we're a lot older, we're a lot wiser, She thought I was, because I mess around, I'm a bit of a joker. So she said, are you serious about what you said? I said, yeah. We discussed. And I said, if not, why not? And literally speaking, from that discussion, we went from discussing to 7 months later being married.
But when people go through the relationship and have a breakdown, divorce or whatever, there's always this, of course, an example is someone close to me. But the thing is that they, most especially the external and even internal, like, you're not getting younger, and it's done, make move, okay, the next one, and I know I'm younger, but you see where once you're going there, it's like, okay, you've gone to the next person or the next relationship. There's still gap, even in yourself, that void. Then you now go to the next one. So you now see people like...
I think you just hit on something so important there.
So how did you kind of hold...
Here's the thing, right? And this is the thing. In the 11 years, I had to work on myself. Now, I wasn't working on myself to get back with my wife. I was working on myself because I realized I need work to be done. I'm an elder, I'm a church leader, however you want to call it. And one of the things that is about knowing your purpose. When you know your purpose and you're on that right path, I always call it the least hardest path of resistance. I had to go back. I thought that as a Christian, I thought I was doing okay. I thought I was a great believer. I thought hey, I'm okay, God. And I had to go back to basics. I went for courses. I went for emotional healing, not just for myself, but to understand how I can help other people as well. Not just if they're in my situation, but so many other things came up at that time. And I'm telling you, that 11 years, if God had an agenda, which, I believe that he does, there was a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-change. I had to overcome so many obstacles. This is personally, I'll give you an example. So again, I believe some of your believers some of the people that watch, they're Christians, they may not be Christians. There's something called the fruit of the Spirit, okay? But it's like love, joy, peace, something. So I went away on a special retreat, and on the wall in this place, it had the fruit of the Spirit, okay? And I was sitting in this hall having my dinner, and I'm not joking with you, Ollah. The Holy Spirit said, have a look. What do you see? Now, I know it might sound a little bit weird to some of you out there, but if you're a believer like me, that's how God speaks, He said, have a look. What do you see on the wall? So it was the fruit of the Spirit. Almost like this conversation. He goes, good. Which one of these do you have? Ollah, I couldn't say I had any. I'm talking to God. I'm not trying to bluff you. If you say, DJ Val, do you have love? I say, of course now, my brother, I've got love for you. This is a private conversation. And I looked, and that's where the conversation ended. Nothing else. He didn't say, well, you need to go and work on it. I knew what I needed to do. I knew I was deficient as a believer in what I believe. And that belief, that's my character that makes everything that I do possible. It's the platform. It's like this table that the mics are on. It is so important. So I spent time. Education. I'd run away from studying because there was a fear of going back to the education table and studying again. I had to enroll in a college. Even I tried not to enroll, but no matter how much I tried to dodge it, they still came back and they said, yes, we'll enroll you. Come back, and it was to do a theology course. And once I'd gone over that initial fear, I began to do more things. But, I say this to say that even when myself and my wife got back together, she would remark at things. She would say, wow, the way that you've just grown as a believer, the way that I can see that growth. I can see that growth. Again, the same thing. You can't see it sometimes, but somebody else can see it in you. And that helped a lot. That brought more maturity to me as a believer, and, that 11 years in between. And I think God, did the same thing with her as well, as working with her. Because we're older and we're wiser. 11 years afterwards, that's a decade. Yeah. You can't be doing the same nonsense that you were doing when you were young.
Yeah. But to give away people that are still going through those kind of challenges, most especially, the ones that are in it.
Yeah.
The ones that are, of course, I know people that
are struggling. Yeah.
And they are very, very on the edge.
Yeah.
What can you give us, maybe as a believer or as
as a regular human?
Yeah. Because our world right now is do it if you feel it.
Yeah. So we always, as one of the songs I play, it says, you look and you say the grass is greener on the other side.
On the side.
How about you water your own grass? And then your grass too will be green as well. And it's very, very easy to think, because of how things are set up, that the option is, there's always a better option ahead of you in terms of relationship. Somebody that you've been with, you're not getting on. I would probably say this: if you need to be honest with yourself. That's the first and foremost thing. If you're blaming the other person, you're lying, first of all. Because I can't have an argument by myself. Otherwise, I will be locked up in some mental institute. If you heard me argue with myself, I can't. If you're in a disagreement, it normally means there's at least one other person involved in that disagreement, first of all. Now, for me, I'm saying if countries want to blow themselves up with nuclear arms and they can come to an agreement, come on, there must be something that can be done. And a lot of the time, the biggest thing can be forgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean that sometimes you just need to forgive. And by forgiving, you let go. And then you say, okay, that was in the past. I can't say how many times that, you have conversations with people that are struggling. Yeah, so back in 1984, that's how she took my money. That guy, he was sleeping with every girl in around the street. He had 5 or 6. Okay, he's done it. Yeah. What are you going to do? Make a choice. Really, make a choice. Are you going to put it behind you and give... Sometimes, and I'm learning this a lot, is don't write people off. People can change. Ollah, if you knew me before I became a born-again believer, you may not even let me in this shop or in this studio. Sorry, you may. I knew what I wanted to do, and I was purposeful in doing it. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was a nice person, but there were undercurrents of things that I used to do. Womanizing, love to get high, I only had one child, thank God, but there could have been many opportunities to have a lot. Do you see what I mean? But that was a lifestyle that I was akin to. And one day, I got saved. Changed my life completely. Now, did I become a goody? No. Okay. But what it did, it put me on this path to where I am here today talking with you. So people can change and they can have a change of heart. Yeah. If Pharaoh can change his heart, then surely people have the ability to do it. And the other part of this thing is, if you guys say no work, then it's not going to work. Be brave, step up to the plate and say it's not working. If you've tried everything and it's still not working, what are you doing with yourselves? I believe in marriage wholeheartedly, but sometimes I think people don't really come to the table with everything to resolve things. I want to score points.
Yeah, I want to score points.
So you go to the, your counselor, your pastor, your intermediary, whoever it is who's making the thing, and you. So they go, oh yeah, truly, she's a bad person. He's a bad person.
And the cycle goes.
And the cycle goes on. So again, you're not getting anywhere because nobody's really coming to the table to say, okay, let's make it hard. Either this happens for me and this happens from you, then we can move forward. If it doesn't, maybe we need to consider
doing something. I was talking to a friend of mine, and something just came up, and I said, you know what? You have to forgive people ahead. And she said, that's what's that? I'm like, I don't even know where it came out, but it came out, and like later on, I was thinking about it. I have to forgive people
ahead of time, yeah.
And the funny thing is, with Christ, it's the same.
Yeah.
He knows that, okay, you're going to do this thing like this forward, but I've already
I've already seen what you're going to do. So I've already made that way of escape. But it's such an important thing, that idea of being able to forgive. I'll give you let's move it closer to home. So is there things now that have everything has suddenly changed in my relationship? No, not at all. But I'm also aware of my failings or my shortcomings. I'm also aware of my wife's shortcomings. And this is why I said, when it kind of like taps into what I said, I have purposely decided I'm going to be happy. Because I can say, nothing used to be an issue 30 years ago or 20 years ago, or however long ago it is. But you know what? In the grand scheme of affairs, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, I hear that, but I go, if I start thinking to myself, hold on, this thing, I said, oh boy, calm down. The grand scheme of affairs is nothing. And the minute that you do that, you really take away the power of that thing. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think you've probably got listeners that maybe have some really serious issues, you know, with their partners and things like that. So I'm not trivializing what's going through, but there are some things that are just the small stuff. Just things that, but you know, it's those things that add up that now will break the camel's back. So if you can get rid of the small stuff and maybe just focus on the real issues at hand, what is really important, you'll be surprised. I remember, and I don't really want to go into too many details about this, not because of anything at all, but you know, when I counsel people, okay, and sometimes they come, and sometimes I go, oh yeah, but I do that. The way that they look, they go, really? I say, yeah, it's kind of like a man thing, you know. It's, oh, really? You feel it goes down. Same with the guys. I said, my wife does even worse than that. Get as it be, you know. He go, really? I said, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, is that bad? At least you know. You know, and a lot of the time is, we know what our partners will do. Can we manage how that affects us so it doesn't take us into this place where you're not happy?
Yeah. And Q, again, click the link, share our platform, and also your comment, we'll leave it behind. And also DJ's Val platforms, and any question, we'll send it, and then a reply will be sent back to you.
Yeah.
Lastly, no, not lastly, I have to talk about DJ Shoggy and Jide.
Again, when you know,
because I've been watching their own thing, and most especially one of them is so funny and hilarious. You know, I'm like, oh, man, these guys.
Again, those guys are absolutely phenomenal. You know, yeah. Everybody does know.
Yeah.
So those guys are actually quite phenomenal. You know, I met up with them just before lockdown, AGMA Awards. Funny story. I'll share it with you. It's a little bit of fun anyway. So, you know, I was checking out a young lady, lovely girl, you know, and I heard she was going to this award ceremony. So I thought, let me go and carry myself to go to this award ceremony as well. Maybe I'll be able to, you know, talk with her and stuff like that. So I get to the award ceremony. I pay for my ticket. They said, we don't see your ticket on the list. I said, but I paid for your, you know, they had like a table or, you know, crowd kind of seat thing. They said, oh, okay, you paid. I said, yeah. They took me to a table. They sat me at the table. On that table, Shoggy Tosh and DJ Jide. Now we kind of knew each other a little bit, but I didn't know him like that. He now said, DJ Val, soul food. I went, yeah. That's when the relationship started. So this was pre-lockdown. Fast forward, we get into a period of lockdown.
Pre-lockdown.
This was pre-lockdown. This started, you know. So we would message every once in a while. But then when almost, you know, this was a good year before lockdown. It was the last AGMA Gospel Awards. So everybody was moving around by then, you know. Then kind of like the pandemic came, and that's where myself and himself began to foster a relationship. So in terms of broadcasting, those guys are, you know, they're absolutely huge. You know, DJ Jide, you know, blind. Not pretend blind, completely blind.
Yeah.
But in terms of what he knows about modern radio, you can't find anybody more knowledgeable than him. I've seen him put together his studio, like man. Come out, and we're looking, and we say he can't be blind. You know, myself and Shogi Joe, we say I think every once in a while his eyes open, he sees, and then the mist may come back again, because what he does is absolutely phenomenal. But those guys, they have really taken independent radio around the world.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Lastly, what are the things or big things of 2023?
2023, straight up.
I'm gonna be expecting huge. I know you shot corner, you go and be like, DJ Val. We never even sit down, try to even know the ones that you've already known. You've already gone. What's the expectation?
I don't know. For 2023, I think, again, you move in these circles and cycles. So during the pandemic, it was big about the growth of the media side of things, of what I was doing. Radio had always been one of as a kid, I used to listen to Radio Nigeria 2 back then in Lagos. JJ, all those guys, man. Wow. When I'm big, I'd love to do what these guys are doing. So it had always been in there. When people said, I'm not even joking, people said, if you had £1 million, what would you do? I said, I'd buy a radio station. And they say, why? I said, I just feel that that's what I want to do. And I didn't know then that that's where I would be.
Wow.
But, so I felt that time of the pandemic was media and radio. This year, as much as we've been still involved in that, but it's really been time for me to, focus on family. We've moved, we did 2 weddings last year, almost, one church service, 1 registry service. And it's been about my family, getting back to my family, and being under that roof. Next year for me, I really want to see us move and take all of those elements now and take the family element with the media aspect and really put that out on the road. So working with since my son, I can't pay his salary, at least my wife is doing some stuff with me where we're working together to do a few bits, because I feel that she has that bug, that gift is there. You just need to cultivate it sometimes for people to have confidence in being able to do it. We definitely see ourselves doing a lot more traveling. I want to visit some of, it's the pandemic brought people closer together. And there's some names that I have heard of that I would like to go and see as well in person. So, I think for me, that's one of the big things for me. I want to get out of the UK quite a bit and try and visit, some of these radio stations, some of my international partners that I'm with, and, just be able to spend time with them as well, because the relationship is so important and you have to build on that. And if you don't build on it, then what happens is it gets stale, and we're sending shows and we're doing collaborations and we're doing stuff, but you have to be purposeful again with that and take that next step. So hopefully I will be coming to the city near you guys. Come check.
Thank you. I'm buzzing right now, man, because all the things. Because every time I speak, I talk, I come around you, it's always an experience. So I know I've taken things right now, and I know definitely even after this camera goes off, yes, I'll still be learning.
Let me just jump in, because I've got to say this. I have to say this. Ollah is one of the people. He had a vision, he had a dream, and what you're seeing is his dream and vision for you guys to be part of the journey of what God is doing. And I have to say, there's one thing when people go, nice thing. There's another thing when people go, I'm going to do that. Because what that does, that makes you feel that, you want to share more with them and you want to challenge them more with what they're doing. And you know, you have a story to tell, and don't be shy to tell that story. Part of it is, yes, it's the unspoken thing, but how did you get to where you are today? It wasn't by accident.
Yeah.
You didn't wake up and, hey, we're in a beautiful studio. You know, we're doing podcasts, we're going around the world. It didn't just happen because you decided to wake up every day at 11 o'clock and you thought, I'll just wait and see what happens. You were purposeful with it. You've pushed. It's difficult, I know, been in the same spot, but you pushed to get something going. And, you know, for me, I see that as a huge honor to be part of your journey. So thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.
For taking those steps as well.
Yeah. And lastly, what do you want to give to our platform, Unspoken Answers to Unspoken Questions?
I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm, you know, and there's a lot of that out there. But there's something the Bible says: by the fruits you will know them. And if you know whatever you sow, you're going to reap. If you don't put the effort in, if you don't put the time into anything at all, don't expect it to work.